Hello, this is Dinah Lane from Harwich Channel 18. It's very nice to be with you. It's a snowy February 2nd, actually Groundhog Day today, which means it's so appropriate that I'm talking today with the Harwich Conservation Trust. And we have three people with us from the Harwich Conservation Trust today. First of all, Michael Locke, of course, Executive Director.
Thanks, Dinah.
And Connor O'Brien, who is the Director of Land Stewardship. And
thanks, Dinah. Great to be on.
Great to see you. And also Haley Steinmetz, who is very new, coming on, who is going to be working with the outreach and administrative coordination of the organization. So, Michael, hi, Haley. Nice to see you. Michael, perhaps you'd like to say just a little bit about Haley. Introduce her directly.
Sure. We are excited to have Haley on board as our new outreach and administrative coordinator for Harwich Conservation Trust. And she brings with her some very interesting background experiences, including in the land trust world, and she can speak to that in a bit. But we're excited to have her working on different educational programs, guided walks and talks, and stay tuned.
Great. So Haley, let's talk about it. Where did you come from? What have you been doing up to now? And I understand you have some nice background in land trust. We'd love to hear about that too.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. So I grew up in Brewster, so I'm a local, and I, grew up and spent a lot of time outside and grew to love the environment and everything. So that's what led me to study natural resources conservation. I went to UMass Amherst and graduated in 2019. While I was there, I did an internship with the Compact of Cape Cod Conservation Trusts, of which Harwich Conservation Trust is a member of. And that's how I was kind of introduced to the land trust world on Cape Cod. And it was a great experience. It was really great to see all the work that all the trusts are doing to preserve land around the Cape and protect all the really unique habitats around here. Some of the other experiences I had in college included a study abroad experience with sea semester, where I got to sail on a tall ship and study coral reefs in the Caribbean. That was an amazing experience. I also got to do a couple of ocean optics research projects. So that was also very cool and a great educational experience. And then after I graduated, I worked for the town of Mashpee as a waterways assistant for a couple of years. That was mostly working on shellfish propagation and water quality work, definitely helping to improve the environment out there. And that was a really great experience as well. In my free time, I like to do a lot of artistic hobbies and stuff like that. And I'm also very passionate about education. So I'm super happy to be here. I'm going to get to do outreach and education events and help with a lot of administrative stuff around the office. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity.
That's great. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
What do you know what you have planned for the next month or so, next few months, perhaps?
Yeah, so I know that there's going to be some Tuesday morning birding walks at Bell's Neck, and there's more information about that at the Harwich Conservation Trust website. They're guided walks, and people can sign up in advance and learn a little bit about nature and get out onto the conservation properties.
Great, wonderful. Okay. Then let's see, Connor, I'm sure you have things planned. I know you've been working on the trailhead over at headwaters of the Hinckley's Pond area. Want to talk a bit about that?
Yes, we have some very exciting news. By mid-February, our newest trail destination, the Hinckley's Pond Preserve, which was a recent land saving project that the community came together, raised $800,000 to save this land, and we're really happy about it. And so by mid-February, we'll have a parking lot built there. We're working on that right now, and we'll have a trailhead kiosk. And I'll tell you a little bit about this really unique property. It's a former cranberry bog, but it has just the most amazing views of Hinckley's Pond. And the wildlife there is really great. Right now you have winter ducks that you can see in Hinckley's Pond and flying over. there's a 0.9 mile trail system around the pond. So it's great for walking your dog, and it's a fairly easy walk. So we're hoping to make it more accessible at some point. We encourage people to get out to this property and enjoy, because it's a really special place, and it has really unique environment and unique views, and also a very important ecological purpose. It's going to be very important to protect the water source of Hinckley's Pond, and make sure that the water stays clean and free of those phosphates and nitrates that can harm our water sources. A little other updates. We have a few ways to get involved in protecting the environment in Harwich. On April 30th, we have a volunteer event, Tour to Trash. And so that is a volunteer trash cleanup day sponsored by Harwich Conservation Trust and the Town of Harwich Conservation Department. It's a long-running volunteer project, and it's a great way to get outside with your family and keep our town clean. So keep apprised of our e-newsletter to see how you can sign up for that, and get involved and get outside and keep our communities looking nice. Yeah, the other volunteer opportunity we have after that is, or around that time, is the herring run monitoring. So HCT has done that for a long time too, but due to COVID, it was put off for a few years. Well, we're bringing it back now, and it's a really interesting project. Volunteers go to the herring run at Hinckley's Pond and count herring as they come through. And this is really helpful to the town, and also the other organizations that track our herring populations. As most people know, herring populations in the 90s really took a downturn. So knowing how many herring are in the herring river and the herring run is very important to be able to find ways to help them, and also set policy to protect them in the future. So that will be starting in April, but we'll have an informational meeting coming up, and also ways to get involved and sign up for shifts to count herring. So again, keep apprised of your HCTE news, and on the lookout for those volunteer opportunities.
I know a lot of people will be very excited about the herring run and the herring count. That's always it's a high point for a lot of people. So it's great that you're bringing that back. Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for that report. And I'm also really, really happy about the trailhead moving forward there at Hinckley's, because that's going to be such a fabulous resource. It's an amazing resource for anyone who goes over there, but obviously it benefits the whole town of Harwich and other things probably as well, just in terms of watershed and so forth. So it's fabulous. Thank you. And Michael, you wanted to talk about another initiative that you've been working on, the Robbins Pond initiative. Is that right?
Sure, that would be great to talk about this new land saving campaign. Before I do, I'll mention to folks that to sign up for the e-news that Connor was mentioning, and it's a great way to hear about these events, whether they're volunteer events or the guided walks that Haley was mentioning. Folks can visit harwichconservationtrust.org and look in the upper right corner of the website, and you'll see a link that says Join e-news. Folks can sign up there. They'll receive these event announcement emails and get connected to all of these inspiring, meaningful opportunities to be outside and make a difference. So you mentioned this land saving project, Dinah. I'm going to share my screen and talk to some of the photos of this beautiful land. Can you see those photos?
Yes.
Yes. So folks can also learn more about this project at the website. This is an effort to raise $350,000 to preserve 3.3 acres with 660 feet of shoreline on Robbins Pond. Robbins Pond is one of our kettle ponds. So back about 18,000 years ago, when the glacier was receding, melting away, left these huge blocks of ice in the landscape, these depressions in the landscape that eventually filled with rising groundwater that have become our ponds of today, strung across the Cape like this necklace of beautiful sapphires. And we're so fortunate to have this collection, this constellation of kettle ponds across the Cape, this being one of them, Robbins Pond. And we really want to protect the lands in the pond watersheds, either directly on the pond or within the watershed itself. The watershed being all of the land area near or around a pond through which water, precipitation, whether rain or most recent blizzard, snow accumulation, can eventually melt and find its way through the ground into the water table and into these ponds. So by protecting the lands within these watersheds, we've gone a long way towards protecting the health, the water quality of the ponds themselves. Mm-hmm. That's our effort here, to preserve this 3.3 acre pondside gem. You can see this photo at the top. This was taken by volunteer Steve Furlong. He's a commercially FAA certified insured drone pilot. Mm-hmm. And then you see this middle photo taken by volunteer photographer Jerry Beetham. Beautiful photo. This photo of the land taken actually from the opposite shore, which happens to be town conservation land. So you can see the time frame here, the path of protecting these properties can involve multiple partners, whether it's the town preserving the land on the opposite shore in early 2000s, or now our effort trying to raise funds and preserve this property in 2022. And you can see the bottom photo here. This is a view from the property itself, from the high forested 50-foot bluff overlooking the pond to the opposite shore that, as I mentioned, has been preserved by the town. So we hope folks can join us in this effort. We have to act now. We're seeing such intense development pressure on the natural lands around us. We have to save these places before it's too late. So we hope folks can join us, and every donation amount helps toward reaching our $350,000 goal. And again, folks can learn more and donate through the website harwichconservationtrust.org.
Great. Well, those are beautiful pictures, and they tell the story of what it is we're trying to do here. So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing those. Okay, so I think you have some other things coming up that you're going to be wanting to talk about maybe in a few weeks. Is that right?
Yes, and thanks for a quick opportunity here to do so. We're hosting once again a live owl program, a little different than in person, since we've had to pause the in-person experience last year and also this winter, just to be on the safe side. So Marcia and Mark Wilson have been bringing their owls to Harwich audiences for well over a decade. And last year they did so online through a virtual talk, which I found really intriguing and inspiring, because even during the Zoom talk, they brought out 6 live owls to talk to us about their biology and their nocturnal habits and the life history of each of these species, a few of which I should say, saw-whet owl, screech owl, gray horned owl, barred owl, spelled B-A-R-R-E-D, can be found on the Cape. And so they're going to be joining us again, February 26th. That's a Saturday, 11 a.m. Folks can reserve online. It's only $5 per registration. Okay. And folks can reserve online at the website and learn all about it. It'll be fun.
Yes, that is always a wonderful time, and they do an amazing job. It'll be really, really fun to see those owls again. That's great. Okay, so any concerns about the groundhog's prediction?
Great. You know, it's interesting.
6 more weeks of winter.
6 more weeks of winter. We're ready. We're ready.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure you are. Yep. You get your snowshoes and get out there, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Our volunteers had their snowshoes on yesterday, maintaining trails.
I
So,
would think they'd have to.
Well,
It's unbelievable. The drifts are amazing, really.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, this was a great day to be talking with you, and I look forward to the next time as well. And again, welcome, Haley. So nice to meet you. And
Nice
I
to
know
meet
we'll be hearing more from you in the future.
Yeah, I hope so too. Sounds good.
So thanks again.
Thanks, Dinah.
Yep.
Thank you.
This is Dinah Lane from Harwich Channel 18. Signing off.